In this video, we will do some plywood bending and try out our recommended product. Alright, so let us start this video with the upper bulwarks, and they are made from 1.5mm plywood, and basically they are easy to install because they have locator pins. So after we have soaked the part in water, we can use an electric plunk bender, and we should do this job very precise because that makes it easier afterwards to install them to the upper deck, because it's quite a curve. We have to bend these parts. Well, you can see that in this case, position is the key to success, and it's very important that you have curved the part very well so it also fits very easily. Well, even so, I prepared the parts very well. I had to adjust some of the notches for the locator pins because it didn't fit at all. Next step in the preparation is to sand them smooth, and here I'm using 120 grit sandpaper. The next step is also very important because we want to have a good adhesion between the deck and the bulwarks, and for that reason I'm taping the space between the notches so that there is no primer and paint and whatsoever. As usual, my preferred primer is Mr. Hobby Surfacer 1000. And it's easy to apply, dry fast, and really gives a smooth surface after sanding it. After drying, I'm using a 400 grit sandpaper, and that will be the last step in the preparation. So with all the preparation work done, we can go over and paint this part. And here I'm using again Komodo paint, and in this case titanium white. So here we can see that taping the contact area of the glue was very important, because now we have a very clean surface where the glue can grip to. But even so, with the best preparation, we always have some little problems, and also here is the position of the center part the biggest problem. As you can see, I have quite a gap between the two parts, which I'm solving by putting some epoxy glue in between. And for that, I'm taping the back of this gap so that I can fill this gap in between. And for that, I'm using some scrap wood from the 1.5 millimeter plywood. Well, you may now ask why I'm using sometimes Tamiya paints and sometimes the Komodo paints, and that is very easy explained. The Tamiya paints are easy for brushing, and the Komodo paints are much easier for airbrushing because they're already thinned out in the bottle, and so I'm using mostly the airbrush for the Komodo for the airbrush and the Tamiya paint for brushing. And why I'm painting some parts before I install them, well, that's also easy explained because some places on the model are not easy to reach with a brush or airbrush, and that's why I'm painting some parts before I install them. So the very last thing in this video, and also the main event, I would say, in this video is the tape residue I've left on the paint from my very wrong decision to put some cheap masking tape on the model. And well, so one of my patrons recommended Goo Gone as a product to me, but it can't be or it can apply be directly on it, but it's recommended to put some paper towel on the surface and then wetten this whole paper towel so that the product can soak into the residue. And so now I made the second mistake in this whole thing, and that was letting it soak in overnight. And I put a little bit more time in it because more is always better, as we all think. But that isn't the case because now we can see that the glue basic is can be removed, but I still think that the product has eaten up some of the paint, and now I have a pattern of this paper towel in my paint, and well, so also on the other side, my paint job is ruined, and that means I have to renew or retouch the paint job on both sides of the model. Did the product work? Yes, it did. Did I save the model? No, unfortunately not. But I do not blame the product because I made a mistake and let it soak too long. It was estimated around 36 hours because I had something to attend in the next day and I sprayed it in the evening before. So if I haven't done this, well, maybe I could save the paint job. But well, anyway, now I have to repaint both sides of the model, which isn't a huge problem, but I have to put a lot of work in it because that's a lot of taping and masking and all like this. And what we can learn something from it. Do not use cheap tapes or masking tapes for your very expensive models or models you put a lot of effort in. Well, that's the thing we can learn from it. Anyway, so in the next upcoming videos, don't know what will do next, but one thing will be repainting the model. And up to then, stay tuned and see you there.